Okay, this is a video to show how I teach my dogs to hold for film work and photo shoots. I like to teach them as a group because they learn from each other and they seem to enjoy watching each other and learning, and they seem to progress a little bit faster when I teach them this way. I like to teach them in chairs because it gets them up off the floor. It's easier for me, and also they don't move around quite as much. First thing I do is I just reward each of the dogs for being in their place on the chair. I want to make this as fun as possible and rewarding for them. I want them to want to do what we're doing. So we start off every session with just rewarding for being in their places and staying there, except for, looks Scouty gonna get down, so I just ask her to get back up and show her where I want her to go and then carry on. For teaching hold, I don't hold the food in my hands. I always put it in my pocket. That way they aren't looking at my hands the whole time or trying to get the food out of my hands, and I think it helps them learn to hold something if the food is a little farther away. In the beginning, when I start off a new dog, all I want to teach them is to want to take that stick. So you'll see how each of these, I'm just holding the stick out and letting them reach towards it, and they're going to get rewarded for that. Even though all of these dogs are actually past that point, I still, just for training purposes, I wanted to show. In the beginning, I spend a lot of time wanting the dogs to want to hold the item that we are working with. Real quickly, I progress to a lot of different items. Now, here is Scout, and she has been holding for a long time, so I make it a little bit harder for her. I back up and give her a hand signal. Summer is a little bit newer, and so I don't quite as long. Fiona's just a baby, and so I'm going to keep my hands right up there and take the item away from her really quickly so it doesn't fall on the ground. And there's Tug. Tug's pretty experienced, so he is able to hold it longer. And then Jeep is pretty much a newbie too. I hadn't really taught this to him, but we've been working on it later. And he's real tentative about taking the dowel. And so I just reward that. I just take them where they're at, and some days they're more advanced than others, and we just do whatever happens on that day. We just go with it. So here is Scout, and I'm going to back away and then go back to her and take it. I always offer the dowel with one hand, and then I take it with two. And I just like to do that as a real clear signal that I'm giving you this, and then now I'm going to take it away. And then Fiona, I just do it really short and don't last very long because she's so new at this. So as we move along and work on this in different sessions, I vary the amount of time I ask the dog to hold the item, and I increase that amount of time really slowly. So now I'm using the cardboard tube that comes in the roll of paper towels. A lot of dogs don't mind holding something like that. I use wooden spoons, and quite often I'll use junk mail, like credit card offers, those thick envelopes you get. Finally, a use for those. I save them and use them for training for hold, and have had really good luck with that. So right now the dogs are all just getting rewarded for holding the cardboard tube, which is slightly different than the dowel, just whatever level that they're at. Here are a couple of examples of what to do when your dog drops something that you want them to hold. With the monkey that Scout's holding, I think she was uncomfortable holding it by the head, so I just handed it to her with the arm, and that made it a little bit easier for her. And then with Summer, I was expecting a little too much of her at her level, so I just go back and pick up the item and then take it really quickly so she can be successful. And next, we're going to work with a corncob pipe. There again, it feels a little bit like the dowel, but not quite the same. Well, I hope this has helped with teaching your dog to learn to hold. We have a lot of fun with this. It's one of my favorite things to teach. So I think that's it for right now. Bye.